why I'm not joining LPT. What's up everybody, Ruben Garcia here, and I do what I call real estate CIAC. We do coaching or consulting for firms, teams, agents, and other business owners. We do investing, short-term rentals, long-term rentals, mid-term rentals, along with the RV rental that we have. The agent side of the business, where I do have a team here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, helping people buy and sell real estate, along with an organization in about 33 states selling real estate. Overall, the organization closed over 1,000 homes last year. So pretty cool little organization that we have going on. But this video is about why I'm not joining LPT. Now, I will say I'm with eXp. I had a call with the founder of LPT about a month and some change ago. So I went to the highest person at that company to talk with about some concerns and maybe about some of the good things I saw. But either way, it was a great conversation, and I'm just getting asked a lot, are you coming to LPT or have you heard of LPT? I said, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and put a video together on honestly why I'm not going to. Is that a forever thing? Nothing's a forever thing, right? But as it stands, eXp for me, the team, and everyone, it just is a better deal and it just makes sense. That being said, I do wanna go over why personally, again, I'm not joining LPT. So let's just jump right into it. So starting off with some of the easier things, we don't have an annual fee at eXp. LPT does have an annual fee. It's $500 a year and is pulled from your first check. Another thing is we don't have transactions fees. We do have broker fees, which I guess if you do kind of look at that, it's kind of the same. We have a $25 per transaction fee for a broker review fee at eXp. LPT also has a transaction fee of $195 per transaction. So there is already that it's a little bit more expensive in terms of transaction fees with LPT. But this is simple stuff. I'm gonna get a little bit heavier as the video goes on. Obviously, we get stock at eXp, ticker symbol EXPI, and we've been investing in this stock for a while. You do get stock at LPT, but it's not publicly traded, and we don't even know the value of it. We did go into conversations about that, and obviously being a concern of not knowing how much the company is in the red or in the green, but I do know that, the launch date of LPT going public has been kicked down the road a few times. Not that big of a concern, but definitely something to look at. At eXp, we have the highest net margins of all publicly traded real estate companies, and we have no debt at this company. So these are all great foundational things to have with a company, especially as the market's going wonky right now, to know that. Again, with LPT, we don't know the financials, so they're not public yet. Again, not big, but worthy to know. Another thing with the stock, there is no free stock that you're gonna get when you cap at LPT if you chose a separate model, which I'll go over that here in a second. With eXp, you get $400 worth of free stock when you do cap. And we do something special for our own agents when they do cap. There's another incentive. Join the team, find out. Also, when they become an Icon agent, we give them an extra incentive outside of that agent getting their cap back at eXp. We do an extra thing, and it is a monetary incentive. So very cool things we do, but outside of that, there isn't that extra incentive in terms of stock when you cap at LPT. As of right now, I believe LPT is in a little over 20 states, if not 20 states at the moment. Obviously, for someone who is building a team, an organization, and may have influence in other states where agents want to join, maybe brokerages, maybe teams, not really in the position to hold the hand of somebody who want to build out a state where you got to bring the right brokers and do all of that just to get someone started. eXp, we're in many countries and we're in all 50 states here in the nation. It makes it extremely easy to expand, to do referrals, and to keep that business moving forward without any hiccups or any friction. No half caps at LPT in terms of somebody who wants to join a team. Now, we do have teams within our organization, and they're able to do half caps, quarter caps at different production. At eXp, you're able to do half caps for team members, quarter caps for team members, depending on the team's production. But that's a huge incentive for people who are joining teams because of just how low their cap is. You don't necessarily get that there at LPT. So that is something definitely, not only do we look at it for ourselves personally, but we have to look at the teams that we work with and understand that a lot of those agents, yes, they could choose the flat fee model at LPT, but I'm gonna explain why that's kind of hurts the incentive of the team builder in terms of growth, but I'll go over that here in a second. But yeah, so no half caps, quarter caps, obviously something we had to look at not only for ourselves, but for other teams within the organization. So, you know, another thing is that if an agent does, you have two different, so another thing is with LPT, you have the option to choose a flat fee based model or a percentage based model with LPT. Now, talking to the founder, talking to other agents, team builders at LPT, approximately 70% of their downlines and the organization and business is looking at the flat fee model. Now, that starts to hurt as the team leader starts to grow, because as the team leader, organization builder, you don't get rev share from the people who chose the flat fee model. So currently you'd have to look at your team, your downline, whatever you want to call it, and look at about 70% is probably going to choose the flat fee model, cutting that rev share down to 30% of what you're going to get, which it could be cut even further. Again, I'll go over that here in a second, but that obviously is something we had to look at financially. Doesn't make sense incentive wise to build out teams in different states and offer the value that we offer, which I'm going to go over that here in a second. You know, and not getting paid in terms of rev share to keep funding the incentives, and like I mentioned some of the incentives earlier, like that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt. So that's something else that we had to personally look at, along with agents within our team that have these team structures, and they got to look at that. When someone does sign, what are they going to choose? And the math says approximately 7 out of 10 are going to choose the flat fee model, which means you don't get any rev share. So that's something else I got to think about. Let's move on. Now, if you are that agent who does choose, let's say, a flat fee model, and then you want to move into a percentage or vice versa, you could do it once within your first year. After that, you have to wait 12 months. Now, I've heard of one of the things is like, that is a great thing, right? Like if the market's low, maybe I can move to flat fee. Once it picks up, I'll move into percentage. Kind of. You got to wait a year. And I understand why they did that, but it kind of hurts that incentive, because it's like, man, you know, if I wanted to build something with percentage, I'm gonna have to wait a year. If I don't want to do percentage, I'm gonna do flat fee model, I gotta wait a year. So it's like when you need that change is when you can make the change, and then when you're ready to pop out of it, you still have to wait the extra 10, 9, 8, 6, 11 months before you can make that change again. That's not really that big of a deal depending on situation. And of course, when we're looking at the whole picture, we want to make sure that our agents are covered. Our agents aren't going to be put in a position that hurts them. And that's just something, it just seems like another friction point that we have to be careful of. So I just wanted to make that, it's something I wrote in my notes. And of course, I want to let you know as well. And stock may not be a big thing to you, but here at eXp, you could get stock when you close your first deal, when you cap, when you become icon. You can purchase stock at a discount out of each one of your commission checks. You are limited at LPT in terms of the stock that you could get. For example, you can't earn black badge stock for an agent who has chosen the flat fee model. Here, it doesn't matter. You're gonna get stock at a discount or free, or get it some of your cap back in stock, and there's no limitation to that, right? Like, it's gonna happen. So again, another friction point we had to look at was like, well, 70% are choosing this, then they're kind of kicked out of that option in terms of stock. Are they really reaping the benefits that they could be benefiting here in terms of stock? And it's public and we can see it, and we're a no debt company and blah 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 and all the things. Again, stock may not be your thing, but that's something again that we had to look at. Here personally is a big one for team builders, organization builders, that type of deal. It was a big one for us, is the revenue share that you're going to get has to be used to pay down the cap first at LPT, which I believe is $15,000. So if you look at your organization, out of that, about approximately 30% is going to be on the percentage model that you can get rev share off of. Whole organization, if you're building one there, and then how much smaller that is going to be, then you have to look at the money that you would have made in terms of revenue share goes towards paying down the cap first. $15,000 is no, small bucket to kick over. So that's something, again, we had to look at. And I'll go over this in a second, but if I were to pass away and it's willable, what if my family needs that money right away, and I haven't paid, quote unquote, the cap down? So the money that they would have get paid, they're kind of getting penalized if I were to pass away, and the revenue share is now have to pay down the cap first. That's just another thing we looked at, but I don't necessarily, We also have to understand that 88% of agents get out of the business in their second year. So if you're spending 2 years investing in this agent and you're giving them resources, like for our team, we hire coaches to come in. Like I said, there's other incentives. There's retreats, like there's meetups. That's a lot of investing in terms of capital that we do for our team. And if you invest in someone for 2 years, you're not going to get the rev share from it. Maybe you do, but you look at that for 2 years, 88% of those agents are going to leave, and you never really recouped some rev share to reinvest into the business. It's going to hurt too. And again, that's something else we had to look at. To pay down the cap first, to us, doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. So we also had to look at this and be like, okay, so we know the cap's going back into the company. Revenue share is going back into the company. Another thing, which I was going to touch on next, I'll go ahead and touch on, you can't get paid rev share for the first 90 days, so that revenue share is going back in the company. And it makes you wonder, and I don't know, but if like 70% of the company is choosing a flat fee model, it seems as if a lot of this waiting time for you to get the rev shares get put back into the company, because most of the agents are on a flat fee model. Do I know that? No, but it just seems like from the outside looking in, it feels like that. That could be completely false. But personally, I would want, if I'm investing capital, time, energy, resources of other admin, of other models, of other systems into somebody, and not able to recoup some capital to reinvest again for 90 days, and then paying off also a cap as well, that one was a big one for us. I mean, you got to look at that, Another thing that cuts down on the recuperation of capital is if an agent were to join LPT and they have 2 LPT agents that they want to sign as a sponsor, you can have dual sponsors there. Now, that looks like 45% of that rev share would go to one agent, 45, well, if they paid down the cap and it's past the 90 days, the other 45% goes to the other, and that 10%, the 5/5, that 10% goes back to LPT. So this is the things you got to look at, right? Like, I'm building a team. Rev share is going to be one of the things that's going to help reinvest back into the business. Not able to get back in 90 days, have to pay down the cap first. If they chose 2 people, now I'm not getting the 100% of the revenue share I would have received to pay down cap or to just receive myself to reinvest. I'm only getting 45% of that. So that's another thing you got to look at. And then let's not even talk about taxes, right? Like on all of this too. So that was another thing. It's like, you just choose one here. You just choose one, right? And then that person pours into you, like we pour into our people. So that was another thing. Again, had to look at and wanted to talk to you about. Let's keep it moving. Another thing is, and this is another rev share conversation, but depending on how deep that organization gets, you only get paid for levels that are unlocked at LPT. With eXp, you get paid on every single level. It doesn't matter what level they're on, So there is 7 levels here. You get paid on all levels. You get paid on all levels. So there's no level unlocking in order for you to get rev share. You get rev share on all levels, which again, big benefit because we need the capital to keep investing, especially right now. The market is not as hot as it used to be. Times are tough, man. I was just talking to an agent about being in the valley of despair, and you have to reinvest this capital, and to be capped and to build extra friction points. Again, just too much friction at the moment, and it just didn't make sense. Another thing that was a big kicker for us, we do offer, you heard some of it, we do offer a lot of value for our own people. We do one-on-ones, we do group coachings. Like today, we had a finance conversation about bookkeeping, about cash flow, about expenses, and watching those. It was very cool, very deep, with one of our agents who is a fractional CFO. Look him up, he's a beast. Now, if we were with LPT, we'd have to offer that to all of LPT, and we don't necessarily want to. And I know I don't want that to come across too crazy, but it's like, this is what we built for our people, for the ones who don't have a victim mindset, for the ones who want to grind, for the ones who want to eventually build something very cool to where they're giving back money to their community, giving back money to their organization, and just putting them in a better position for that. Investing, we're obviously investors. And if someone doesn't fit that mindset, we don't necessarily want to pour our resources and time into that person. If they're selfish, victim mindset, just cares about themselves. And by the way, that person lives in every firm. So for us, we love to build and to kind of keep sacred what we do for our team. Yes, we still do trainings outside. We do Be More training. Go check it out on this channel as well. It's all free. But there are things we don't do, and we give money to people within our agent or within our team, and we would be penalized. It's literally in the LPT ICA to we would be penalized for that. You can't do that there. You have to offer it to all of LPT. Not a really good fit for what we're building here, to tell you the truth. And some of those examples is and it said leads. There is definitely a portion of what we do where we hand leads, Zillow Flex leads, to our agents. And if another agent wasn't getting those leads and they had beef with us, they could go and talk about this in the ICA, that we're not giving them leads, and they could be a part of another team or something else. Another thing, office space. We have a firm that moved over and we used their office space. Now, if someone came in negative and just always found the wrong thing to do something, never had solutions, and we had to offer it to them, right? In the ICA, we were penalized. We have to be able to offer it to everybody. And we want to say no to people like that and just keep positivity and solution-based mindsets in that atmosphere. And here with eXp, there's no issue with that. We definitely have that option, you know, and we're not going against the ICA if we say no to that person. Another thing, free coaching. You know, we bring in coaches and we pay for that. So, and it's free for all of our agents within our organization, and we'd have to offer it to all of LPT. Now, when I was on a call, you know, there was that conversation. It's like, well, you know, we don't really govern that area. We're not really going to hold that too high of a standard. But the thing is like, back when I was the CEO of a Keller Williams office, anytime there was a team dispute, we'd always say, go back to the contract. Go back to what did you sign? What was the agreement? Right? Because he say, she say, we can go all day. That almost rhymed. I should be on new Eminem's album. But that's going to happen here, right? We have a disgruntled agent at this, let's say LPT. They don't like that we are giving free coaching to our own organization. They can literally pull that paper out. Like, this is what we signed. And I have to be careful of that, right? We got a cool culture here. It's expanding. We're now international with our organization. We have some pretty amazing entrepreneurs here, grinders, big thinkers, big doers. And we like that. So something that we want to protect. And there's other virtual brokerages out there that have the same verbiage within their contracts, with their independent contractor agreements, their ICAs, and not the best fit for us. Another big thing personally, if you know me, I do look at a lot if I were to pass away. You know, is there enough capital income coming in to the family with or without me here? And with eXp, all my rev share is willable. One of the reasons why my wife got a license. She's able to get it because it comes in the form of that commission. You got to be licensed, whatever. No issues. Now, if you think about it, again, and I said this earlier, if I were to pass away, I'm not a producer in terms of like in the field 100% of the time. My team handles my friends, my family. We work together and all the agreements are under those agents. So it doesn't look good that I'm not quote unquote paying down my cap if I were with LPT, because the revenue share would go towards that. Now, if I pass away, the revenue share starts to go towards paying down a cap. Let's say for my wife. What if she needs the money right now, right? Because I passed away and maybe funeral expenses, I don't know, whatever that looks like. So that's another friction point. It's like, it seems like unneeded friction point that I would just add into what we've already built for us and our team. Again, just got to look at these things. There is no issues. My wife would immediately get the revenue share if I were to pass away here with eXp. Another thing is, you know, if you're with LPT and you want to retire, you can no longer grow your front line, meaning agents can't sign you as a sponsor. Now, I don't know about you, but real estate's kind of my thing. And when I'm 70, people are still going to be asking me, you know, say I live that long, plus maybe I'm 111, people are still going to be asking me. And because of that, I would still love for them to write me as a sponsor. I'm still going to support them. If I were retired at LPT, I can't have that. No matter how long I've been in the industry and how much I've worked and how much of people see me as quote unquote value in their eyes of helping them scale, or maybe the people that I know and I'm able to connect them with and they see value in that, they can't sign me as a sponsor. So that is just a little bit of, and things are changing, by the way. this is a few months ago. I talked to the founder. It is July now, July 2024. Things change. Things change with eXp. I was telling a buddy this, just real quick side note. I was like, man, I'm with a different firm every year. They're like, what are you talking about? You've been with eXp for like 5 years, 5 or 6 years. I was like, yes, but eXp molds, man. I feel like every single year they come up with something different, a different incentive, a different pay model for us. It's like I joined another brokerage. Things are changing here, man, and things are changing at LPT and other cloud-based brokerages. But I have been getting people reaching out, and I said, yo, let me make a video instead of having these conversations a lot, not only for, again, myself to be kind of multiply me to have this conversation, but also I just had a friend, 2 quick things. I had a friend that left LPT. It was a firm owner, went there. I had this conversation. I was like, yo, just so you know, some of this stuff is in there. Do what you feels best. They end up leaving because they weren't told this stuff. So this is another reason why I'm making this video, just to make it clear. And if it fits, it fits, dude. If it fits your life, go for it. I want you to be happy. I want you to be successful. I want you to hit all your goals. The happier you are, the more money you make, means the more happier the community is going to be, and the more money that you're going to pour back into the community, your loved ones. That is a win, okay? So I'm not against that. But I do love clarity. I like transparency. And that's the reason why that got brought up. Another reason, one of the people that helped build out a certain state since left LPT, is having some challenges with them. You know, and some of the stuff she told me in the background was just like, what? You know, so I just want to be transparent, right? These are some of my concerns. These are things that popped up, and these are things that other people are coming to me asking me about. You know, they trust me in being transparent and real. As much as I'm transparent and real about eXp and their faults and their wins. It's just this conversation's happened a lot lately. Especially after my conversation with the founder of LPT, and I figured this would be the best. Let me know where I messed up. Let me know what you love about LPT, what you love about eXp, what you love about your current firm. Let me know. I've jumped on a call with people at Real that are very high up in Real, and Epic and other virtual brokerages that are popping up. The franchise model is hurting, you know, like there's a human element that's involved with territories, and it's all wiped away. And there's a lot more streamlined in terms of compliance and what is what with a virtual brokerage, a cloud-based brokerage. So cool times, amazing times, things are getting different. And just let me know if you want to know more about what we're doing, maybe some of those incentives that I was talking about. If you're with any other company outside of eXp and you feel like you need help in terms of retention or bringing on amazing agents, just reach out, man. I am here to help. Again, I've just been getting a lot of people reaching out lately, so I was like, I'm gonna make the video. Let me know what I'm gonna say it again. Let me know what I messed up on. Let me know what you loved about this video. And if there's anything I can ever do for you, reach out and let me know.